This is crispy homemade pan-fried falafels, and I've got all these beautiful ingredients here. This is baking powder and flour, and I'm going to set those aside. But all the other ingredients that are on the recipe online, you can just throw in a food processor, and that's canned, drained chickpeas, a bunch of different spices that you like or that I have listed, an egg, chunked up green onions, 2 of them, a couple bits of garlic. This is a little bit too much, so I'm going to not use all of it. And then you can throw all the parsley in with the stems and all if they're delicate. If they're delicate stems, go ahead and throw them in. They don't have a strong bitter taste. If they taste pretty mild. What you want to do is just sort of pulse this. You can run it and then stop it and then kind of just pulse it. And you want it to be smoothish. So that also means chunky-ish. So you can see some of the chickpeas are partially formed still. It's just a texture thing, and so not completely smooth. Anyway, throw in the flour and the baking powder, and that helps bind it and keep it together. And we don't want this to be crumbly, so it's going to be better to just cover it and let it sit for 30 minutes. And that gives the flavors time to integrate together, and also a reaction to happen with the egg yolk and the flour. And I'm not a chemist, but stuff happens and they become less crumbly when you try to cook them. So I throw down some flour on a plate, and I always put more than is even called for or necessary. And it ends up wasting a little bit of flour, but it makes your life easier because this can get messy and sticky. I've got one of those flimsy see-through cutting boards on the side. You could also use parchment paper, but I find that works. It doesn't stick too bad to that. You can form these patties. Mine are about 2.5 inches, maybe less than ½ inch thick. I get about 12 or 13 out of this recipe. Try to get 12, but they can be whatever size you want. So I've got a cast iron pan here. It's just 12 inches. If you want to use a non-stick and less oil, you're welcome to. There's a small clip in this recipe online that shows me doing that as well. But generally speaking, when you're frying, cast iron is a big, sturdy pan to use. And throw in some neutral oil like corn or safflower, or if you're into avocado oil, that has more of a taste, but it's still a high heat oil that you want to fry in. So you want it to be sizzling but not popping everywhere. I've got a splatter guard here. I'm cooking for about almost 3 minutes on that side. It could be 2 minutes on your stove, so take a look and have a peek. I like the splatter guard because I can turn it and see where it's at and put it back, and I feel safer using the splatter guard in general. Anyway, so that's 2 to 3 minutes on one side. First side generally takes a little bit longer. Flip it another 2 minutes. Have a peek every once in a while. And then they're done. They should be crispy on the outside, tender on the inside. You'll probably have to do this in 2 batches. And I like to serve this with a tzatziki sauce, or that's like a chunky, full-fat yogurt sauce. You could use low-fat, but I also have that recipe online, and that's cross-referenced in the recipe. So there's your beautiful falafels, and I'm going to take them over and show you in hopefully a little bit better light, and that is the chunky tzatziki sauce that I was telling you about. And that's a fish spatula that was helping me flip that stuff. It's a really nice spatula. Anyway, find the recipe on eatsimplefood.com.